Hello, this is Promethea, you're watching Tyrannosaurus Girl, and today I'm going to be talking about the gender of magical energies. This question came from one of our viewers, Little Lova. She said, you mentioned on an earlier video you were a practitioner of chaos magic, and I'd like to know your opinion regarding the gendering of energies present in most occult literature and in the practice of many pagan philosophies. As a pagan witch, I found the notion of masculine and feminine energies to be more related to the human ideas about gender than to the nature of energy itself. I'd like to know if you found this in your practice and what's your take on the subject. Well, Little Lova, first of all, thank you very much for your question. And the short answer is that yes, I found this, and in fact I did mention it briefly on one of my earlier videos when I discussed the process that took me to realizing that I was trans. It was while I identified as intergender or bigender, and I worried about finding the limit, the boundary between one gender and the other, and looking at the notions of gender in different cultures and the attributes assigned to it, I did see exactly that, that if you take the yin and the yang from Eastern philosophies, and you look at the characteristics that they have, and you look at the masculine and feminine archetypical energies in the cultures of the American continent, you see that sometimes those attributes are even mismatched, that they don't correspond. So yes, on the most basic level, this has to do with our culture, and I'm going to be talking about this from my point of view as a chaos magician. And I want to tell you, in case you don't know a lot about chaos magic, that one of the bases of chaos magic is the notion that nothing is true, everything is permitted. So what this means is that we are liberated from having to accept a system of belief as true, from having to actually believe in it. We use them as tools, and that allows us to distance ourselves from them and to be able to look at them in a more detached manner, more analytical, if you will, perhaps colder than what someone who is more emotionally involved with a system of belief would. So please understand that that is how I'm looking at this issue. So you see a lot of differences between different cultures, not just in the gendering of energies or the attributes assigned to those genders, but also in the gendering of entities and other characteristics as well, even within the same religion. For example, if you look at the different representations of Jesus Christ in different countries or in different historical moments, you will see great differences, and that is because they are adjusted to how that particular people consider that the Son of God would look like. Or if you compare polytheistic religions, which have different gods or different saints for different aspects of life, you will see also great differences. Some of these aspects of life will have different genders assigned to them in different religions, and a lot of other differences. Some of them are going to be considered evil in one religion and benign in another one. Like, for example, this guy that I have here on my shirt, Ganesh, he is, among other things, the remover of obstacles. And in Catholicism, you could equate him to Mary, the untier of knots. So in one religion, you have that assigned to a woman, and in another you have it assigned to a man, or specifically a boy with an elephant head. And Ganesh is also a trickster. He is the one that places those obstacles there in the first place. So a Western look could consider him not to be fully benign, although his intentions are, because he does that to teach us, to challenge us, and even to play. While Mary, untier of knots, is just one more aspect of the Virgin Mary, the Absolute Mother. And how can you explain all those differences then? The thing is that when we talk about the occult, we are talking about a non-ordinary reality. It cannot be established by ordinary consensus, and what I mean is that you and I can be standing next to each other and we can look at the sky and we can have a clear consensus on the color of the sky. We can both agree whether it's blue, whether it's gray, it's cloudy, sunny, or whether it's black or navy blue because it's nighttime. But when we talk about non-ordinary reality, when we talk about the magical, the spiritual, the occult, we are dealing with direct acquisition of knowledge that cannot be verified in this way. We can be standing next to each other, having a religious experience, and it's going to be different for you or for me. That is because these perceptions that we have of the occult are symbols. We don't know for sure what is on the other side. In fact, we don't even know if there is anything on the other side at all. These perceptions are just symbols intended to communicate to us an idea that is not rational, that cannot be understood rationally. So it is a language required to fit this other reality into little boxes that we can process, that we can understand. So it is affected by what we are bringing to the table. It is affected by our background, by our expectations, by our notions, our pre-existing beliefs. So what I can tell you is that don't worry too much about it. If these energies and these entities had a gender, and if you were misgendering them, and if they were really bothered about it, they would have let you know. So if you have your hair still attached to your neck, don't worry, you're good. So just use whatever notions of gender, whatever entities, whether you're talking about pre-described entities in pagan literature or entities that you are summoning yourself, use whichever you want, whichever works the best for you, because that is the criteria that I use in my practice of chaos magic. I do things in the way that work the best for me. And if you are interested in learning a bit more about chaos magic, a very good book that you can read as an introduction is Prime Chaos by Phil Hine. I'm going to leave you a link on the description where you can buy it, and you will also be supporting this channel if you buy anything through that link. And I don't mean it as saying that you should get away from paganism. On the contrary, reading a bit about chaos magic can give you some more tools to be able to understand paganism in a different way that I think can be very good for you. So thank you all for watching this video. I would like to know what all of you think about this. How do you experience the gender of magical energies or entities in your magical practice or in your religion? Please let me know in the comments. Also tell me what you want me to discuss in future videos. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up, share it around, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and see you again next week. Bye bye!